Okay, so for my JSON, I focus mostly on the parsing. So I wrote a program here in NetBeans. This is one that I used previously for a class too, but I had to adjust it so I could use some parser and parse exceptions. But this is just a really basic one that I wrote. So just basic call the JSON. You create the new object, which is in this case is the name, and then I declared the array. And then this is just some basic stuff. What you go through is just I asked the person to enter the course that they need to take at BYU Idaho. And if there's no other courses, then to leave a blank. Break the loop if it leaves your course field blank and hit enter. This one asks for the grade they hope to achieve. And so they just put in what grade they want to get in the course they got left. And then here is where you actually create the object or store the information. So it puts the grade, the name, creates it, puts it into an array, and then adds the array to the root. So in this case, it creates the new courses, and then once it finishes everything, it'll outprint, give them a message that the file was created successfully. And then this last part here is where I got into the parsing and stuff. So here's the parse string down here. But basically, it takes the objects and puts them together. So we've got the student's name, and then it puts together the array of what the courses they've got. And then it's really basic, but it just prints out the grade and name. So if you want to see it run really quick, it's pretty basic. But it just comes down here, asks them to put in their name, Hawkins, enter what courses you still need to take, 381. Let's see, I'm going to get a 95 on that one. And then senior practicum. And let's go, that was pass or fail. So, and then there's no other courses, so I'm gonna hit enter. So again, it gave me that message, the file was created successfully, enter to finish, and it just prints out what I've got left to do and what grades I have to take. So it's as basic as can be. I just did it. It's just something you could use and take any kind of information off of from a user, put it into an array, and then parse it out and give the information, put it together. Pretty basic. So what I've got to turn in, let's see, I can pull it up here. So this is my assignment portal. I have a github.io that I used last time. And so these are the last two ones I did. I just created some really basic web pages. I'm hoping this is what he's looking for. I honestly really don't know at this point. I've turned in, I've turned in these two, the JavaScript and the objects. I've turned in these two pages with some examples and other stuff, and that's the recording I did for you guys last week. But yeah, it's just trying to figure out. So for this one, I went a little bit different from the JSON. So I just went through what it stands for, JavaScript object notation. It's a syntax for storing and exchanging data. And it's handy. You can store exchanging data in JavaScript. And then I talked about what a parse is. So parsing is generally means interpreting. JSON is a format specification. Parsing means you interpret the data, whatever language it needs to be in. And then this is that code that I just showed you. So I put that up on there. This was the result, and then I did a video of that program running that we just went through. So, and then what I was just working on when the meeting started was a stringify. So it's a method to convert JavaScript objects into a value or a string, and so objects are optionally replacing the values in the replacer function. And so, and then I just had a really basic example of a string here. So, and then these are the sources that I use. So that's pretty much what I've been working on for this one. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I'm still working on mine, but
okay.
I have a few, like 2 examples, I guess.
Okay. Now, I wonder if I can share. Can you take over and share your screen?
Yeah, how do I do that?
All right, I'm going to go to manage precipitants. Let me see. I'm going to make you the host really quick.
All right.
And then you should now have the menu to share your screen.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Go to screen, right?
Yeah, so if you go, I think mine says share or new share. You see it there? There it is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Could you see it?
Yep, I see it great.
All right. Yeah. Just basically, well, correct me if I'm wrong. JSON parse. It just helps you get information from the web server, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So if it's like JSON format, it just represents it in different, like a JavaScript string, or how's it work?
Yeah, it's just a different language format so that Java can understand exactly what information you're getting. And so it could
Okay.
be a bunch of different things, but yeah, you're right.
Well, all right. Well, this is basically the example I have. Just get this JSON formatted variable,
Yep.
and then here's where you parse it. It's a parameter you call the variable,
Yeah.
and it's where you print it out. Basically, and let me switch over. Right, here we go.
Yep.
My keyboard. You could call name, and you could call the email, and if you print it out, it shows up right here.
Cool.
And then switches up. Okay, contact up there. Refresh. And now contact shows up.
Oh, cool. Instead of an email. Nice. Okay.
And stringify is just the opposite of that. You format it into JSON.
Okay.
You get a JavaScript object, and yeah, you just make it into a JSON format, I believe. Here's the other example. Here's the block I have, books. You got title, you got year, and you got edition. There you go. Here you stringify books, book object, and you print it out, and it shows you in JSON format, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
The title, the year, and the edition. Other than that, I'm still trying to figure it out.
No, it looks great. It looks really cool. So is that page you're building, is that what you plan on turning in?
Yeah, I'm planning to turn this one in.
Okay, cool. And did you turn in those other two? Is that the one you guys recorded last week? Is that the same thing? But
Yeah.
you haven't heard back yet, right?
No.
Okay, me neither. I was just trying to figure out if this is exactly what they're looking for, because I did something exactly similar. It's always hard with these professors to figure out exactly what they want, what they're looking for.
And this class is weird too.
Yeah, this is the second one I've taken like this. So
yeah?
the first one, the web backend development,
Mm-hmm.
that guy wanted to see mostly the NetBeans and watch to see the program work and all that kind of stuff. Where this one seems just want to understand our understanding on the topic, and so it's just been interesting to try and figure out, how it all works out and what he's looking for. So,
well,
cool. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording here real quick.